Okay, it is time to learn how to write an assignment of contract. This is Tim Harridge, and I'm going to take you through the assignment of contract. So here you have the assignment of contract. Feel free to click below this video and open this and go along with me. I am going to actually zoom in and just make this a little bit larger so that you guys and gals can see the entire thing. So this is an assignment of contract for sale. It's in a Word document, and it just starts off with, in consideration of the final sales price of blank. This is where what I do is I write the final sales price in here. So what we'll do is, in this area, you will include assume that we assign this house for the price of $45,000. I don't like to discuss with the investors how much I'm making, how much I'm marking it off, what my contract amount is. It's just really none of their business. And when they ask, I say, look, when you worry about what's on my table, nobody's on my plate, no one's watching what's on yours. So just, if you can pay $45,000, it doesn't matter if I'm making $1,000 or $10,000. So if the investor was paying $45,000, we would input it here. Another good and valuable consideration, mutual benefits. This is all legal jargon. Here where it says assign-or, you are the assign-or. I guess the technical way to say it is assignor. But you're the assign-or, and you're assigning unto the assignee. And this is where you put, if George is buying the house for me, I would have put, George Buys Houses LLC, whatever legal entity they're buying, the assignee, the buyer, the investor is buying it. The contract to sell dated. In this block, you put the execution date of your contract. That's the date on page 8. And by in between, in this blank, you put your entity name that is on the contract, on your purchase contract, your PSA, purchase and sale agreement, as the purchaser. So in my case, it's typically Jennifer Rainey Investments, Inc. as purchaser and blank as seller. So this is where you would write your seller's name exactly as it is on the contract. So estate of Donald Don, or Mary and Susie, or Bill and Susie Smith. And in concerning such property, here you write the address and zip code of the property, further describe lot, block, and then you put the subdivision here, city of blank, county of blank county, Texas, or you can delete Texas and put whatever state, whatever the legal description is. So then you move on down. And now assignees to deposit blank non-refundable option check made payable to the assignor. So I typically get about $1,000. If it's a higher priced house, I may get $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000. If it's a buyer I don't feel comfortable with, if I think that there's if you just got a feeling that they may not be telling you the complete truth, you can go ahead and I had one the other day that I went ahead and asked for $5,000 deposit. And I'll tell you, when they stroke that check and it clears the bank, you got a lot more solid buyer. But don't get tied up in that, because sometimes people may think that you're up to something goofy, and if you ask for too much money, they may not want to do business with you. So it then specifies that this money will be credited to the sales price at the time of closing. This money is only refundable. And this is where you're giving them an out too. This money is only refundable in the event that title cannot be conveyed. So basically what you're telling them is, look, The only way you get this money back is if, for some reason, I can't get you clear title. The assignment does not transfer any earnest monies that a assignor may have on deposit. That's because if you put up the $300 and you assign the contract, technically that $300 would go to the new buyer. So you just want to put that in there. Assignee understands that, and this is where you're going to keep yourself from getting dropped in the grease. What you're doing here is you're letting the assignee understand that if they don't close by this date in this little block. Now, if you're in that block, I'm going to tell you something. What you want to do is in this block right here, it needs to be at least 5 business days prior to the closing date on your contract. If it can't, you put yourself in a very bad predicament, because if that date is the same as the closing date as of your buyer or with your seller, and that investor drops you in the grease, which will happen to you if you do this long enough, what will happen is you'll be stuck on a house that you don't have time to wholesale to someone else, and you could potentially default on the contract. And so then it says the assignment's null and void, deposit forfeited, and the assignee is in default. But then you show the investor that you're not trying to take advantage of him. The date will be automatically extended within the limits of the contract if the title is not yet clear. I mean, you spell it out. You're not trying to drop them in the grease, but you just want to let them know. So executed this day, you execute the assignment, you sign as the assignor, and the assignment contract to sell is executed as of this date. You come down here and you want to type the investor's information here, name, phone number, email address, etc. So the title company, it's on one form, they know how to contact them. Make sure they sign it, execute it here. You want them to put the day and the month that they execute it, and then you get it to the title company and you make sure that check's good. So that is a 8-minute version of how to create how to type an assignment.